Hey guys, it's Genki Gamer here. What's up? What's up? Anyway, I'm back on some MamaMax drama. Well, kind of drama. Mutahar just came out with a video the other day talking about MamaMax. He's finally responding. I'm glad to see this, really. He's such a upstanding guy. But let's see what he got to say here. I'm going to kind of skip around. I will put the link down below. Definitely go check out his video. I mean, he's pretty awesome. I love a lot of his work. Anyway, let's check this out real quick.
It's been 7 days since I covered a pretty wild story on YouTube, one that involved another content creator known as MamaMax. Now, since then, it's been quite an explosive, trending topic with multiple videos coming out on the daily, many even from channels that I am very good friends with, channels like Oompaville, Noxtaku. A lot of content creators, even some that I've worked with on this project, have made follow-up pieces regarding this situation. Now, for those of you who don't know and haven't watched the previous video that I made, this is a story about how a YouTube content creator known as MamaMax, who is typically known for his very artsy, completely quiet, and at least for now, and making sure that law enforcement is getting involved in this situation of him. Now, after extensive research from everyone's end, it turns out that the situation is not as hard-hitting, at least as Max has presented so far. Since then, tons of people have gotten involved, entire leaks have occurred, and this situation so far remains unresolved. Now, Max has done one thing that I can actually respect in this situation, which is staying completely quiet, and at least for now, and making sure that law enforcement is getting involved.
MamaMax is just destroyed. He destroyed this whole case. It doesn't matter, like, what you say at this point. If cops were really involved in this, we're like, I mean, he's screwing their whole investigation. Why do you think, and it's not just for predators or trafficking, but a lot of cops don't talk about their investigations while they're going on. That's so they can build up that information and, you know, make sure they can get an arrest, you know?
And this situation of him basically leading the charge on hunting down who he believes to be a bad individual should face some police justice. And whether justice will be faced, whether Max has tainted this case beyond belief, is yet to basically be known. All right, but this is the kind of situation that we're actually sitting at. It's a wild by Max failing to have proper OPSEC and letting anybody jump in by socially engineering themselves. In this, he types, at everyone, Spencer and I, Spencer being his lead witness in this vampire sex cult case, are considering a class action lawsuit against Mutahar for breaching our non-disclosure agreement, inciting harassment on live.
I don't know if you caught my earlier video, but yeah, Spencer and MamaMax are trying to get, like, I guess the victims together. I guess that's it. And then they're like wanting to put $1 million lawsuit. And it's funny how right here they said he's extremely rich. Yeah, I know. What the heck does that mean? I don't think you can do that.
Streams defamation and causing emotional distress. He's extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed between all of you. Now, when I first read this, most people would think that I would do the laugh like, but I did not laugh. This is a former friend of mine, and honestly, this is probably one of the most painful things for me to read, because this is somebody that I sat down, had a drink with, had a talk to, gave a heart-to-heart to, and now, within 24 hours, I've basically realized that this person wants to effectively sue me for a large chunk of money, okay? An obscene amount of money. Why? Because to me, all this appears is all I ever was to this man was an extremely rich friend who had enough social media clout for him to piggyback his stupid case off of. This, to me, is quite possibly one of the worst, like, internet betrayals I ever had. And if anything,
Okay. I never really thought, I didn't know they were close at all. But I've heard another internet, I can't think who it was, but I heard another video out there, and the guy kept asking, why are not like the bigger streamers that know MamaMax ever brought this forward before? Some Ordinary Gamers, Penguin Zero, Charlie, Moist Critical. And some of the other big ones knew him, knew what he was doing. He's never had an arrest, but yet they're still never really, got into him before or thought about checking in on him. Now I didn't realize Mutahar was this close to, or felt like he was this close to MamaMax. But in life, we learn people do this. I could have told you just from the first few videos I've seen of MamaMax that I would have been like, oh yeah, this is a bad dude. Just my opinion. And I'm sorry that Mutahar is getting hurt from this. Like I said, I had no real knowing they had any type of relationship. But as we get into this, you guys are going to get to my point where I kept saying MamaMax is probably a predator himself. And why we're stopped right here, guys, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure, hit that ding-a-ling-a-ling bell down there too, so you can get my videos as I post them. But yeah, I know this is a very serious topic, but I have to get that in there because I want you guys to come back. I'm very real, very upfront, and these are my thoughts, on all the stuff I see going on the internet, my video games, all that. But back to this. It's sad to see him go through that. I'm sure we've all had friends do this to us. Well, who we thought were friends. But let's go ahead and see what else he's got here.
Now, when you also read the words class action lawsuit, this isn't a class action situation. This is another example of Max.
Okay, let's
go.
So
my lawyer said that I have really...
Oh yeah, let's hear this part.
Non-disclosure agreement. There was no solid non-disclosure agreement, at least one that was notarized by legal parties. So my lawyer said that I have really nothing to worry about. And when it comes to inciting harassment, defamation, and causing emotional distress, I would say that I have been very cordial, nice as I can be, reasonably in a situation like this.
Oh my God, him and Moist Critical both have been really nice to MamaMax. We're all trying to bring this to you guys' attention, and that MamaMax, he's like, yeah, bad guy, and they're kind of being gentle on him. At least I think so. I guess to me, though, when you're portraying this and it's on a serious, very serious topic, this is no time to be playing games. This is no time to be playing the MamaMax cult, and he's the Batman and God of the the pedo thing. Oh God, this situation gets weirder and weirder. So, I'm, like I said, Mutahar covers his butt. I knew he wasn't going to get any, serious trouble for any of this.
Judges imaginable. So later on it says all you would have to do is testify against him, particularly regarding his actions, not speaking to any of you about the evidence and the impact his behavior has had on you. which is materially false. I have actually spoken to Spencer and the other victims in this situation, some of them privately, obviously. I don't like to make a public case of something that is ongoing. Spencer has agreed to be the lead plaintiff, and I'll do all of the hard work. How can you have a plaintiff in a class action lawsuit? Wouldn't it be a representative? Again, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm also a little smarter than ChatGPT, which just Googles information, I would say. Let us know if you're interested. This could have a huge impact on the case against Cade. Now, when I read this, I was like, what? One of the actual users here said, dude, no, can this stop? Again,
look at these.
Even the people on the server, and from everything that I've been told privately, were not okay with any of this. So even Spencer in this situation writes, I think this is important personally. Mutahar has breached terms of the NDA, and his actions have caused cyberstalking and harassment. And this is dangerous. If he doesn't learn, what stops him from doing similar in the future in relation to other cases? I agree with waiting for blank, though just in case, if it is plausible, Muta should be held accountable. His behavior is disgusting.
No. You know whose behavior is disgusting? MamaMax and his MamaMax cult. Dang, man. You know, you guys gotta see it. I mean, it's just so evident. Oh, God. Okay, we're going to skip through this and get to this next issue here.
The actual people who have a background in law enforcement. And given that there are eyewitness testimonies, and maybe not in,
he's saying the same thing I am about, you know, there's ways to go about doing this type of content. But you need to talk with law enforcement, get them involved, get them in, see what you can do to help them. If you want a video channel like this, you have to work with lawyers, law, maybe talk to your detectives and things of that nature, because that's how you can really get truly involved and not be just all fake like MamaMax and hurting the police department and hurting these cases. And that's what I keep bringing it up. You know, me and Mutahar, we both on that one. Let me tell you something. All right. And I think this is about the moist critical part.
Cancel you, Charlie.
Yeah.
I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter. Like,
I've never looked forward to sleeping.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's...
I mean, he's a weirdo.
Just doing my best out here. I told the survivors I would not let them down.
And let him down he has, because unfortunately this case has been made a giant media circus of on the internet, which again should never have been the case. Now, one of the this clip that I played to you was literally him mentioning this infamous clip floating around where he's like, I could cancel you, Charlie. Charlie being moist critical, Penguin Zero on the internet, very large content creator, very popular, has an absolutely impeccable record on the internet.
Just dream
now, this is a clip
to get
that
as
really
popular
bugs me in
as
a lot
him.
of ways. Even if you had it completely out of context, or if it had some attachable humor context to it. Look, at the end of the day, when you say that you can cancel somebody because you are a pedo hunter, yet you have 0 arrests, that literally puts two things into my head. Either you come up with some random BS evidence and basically ruin somebody's life. Or
that's what he
have
does.
evidence and you've just been sitting on it, waiting for a proper time to cancel somebody. None of this actually appears right. And by actually wearing this pedo hunter badge and chasing people out on the internet, you have to be really careful with the kind of allegations that you make.
Oh, most
Max,
definitely.
his entire persona on the internet is centered around the hyper-violent Hotline Miami aesthetic that he fails to actually understand the deep meaning behind. But again, with Max in this situation, it's a lot of LARPing versus actually getting things taken care of and done. Now, YouTube sting operations and like chasing people on the internet is not something that YouTube itself likes to endorse, unless, of course, there is an involvement of law enforcement agencies. Now, one of the most infamous people on the internet, Alex Rosen, who was basically responsible for the EDP 445 sting, was recently praised by the Houston Police Officers Union for helping getting rid of like actual predators on the internet off of the streets. And that's because Alex works directly with law enforcement.
Yeah, like after that incident where he got the one guy and messed that up, I did hear he started working with the police and started trying to help them instead of sabotage things. And that's really what needs to be done, honestly. We shouldn't be watching content for entertainment in this subject. You know, it needs to be real. It needs to be with police, detectives, things of that nature.
And that's why they have super high conviction ratings, because they're not going to waste taxpayer money or their own time chasing after a dud. And this is something where you can literally sit down in front of your computer and assist law enforcement agencies by looking at illegal posts that law enforcement agencies put to the internet.
I don't know.
You can do things like r/trace an object.
All right, there we go. Trace an object. So you can go to this website, I guess, and totally, I never heard of this before, but they'll post pictures and stuff and see if you've ever seen it and where you've seen it, so they can figure out either, you know, where the crime was, what's happened, maybe the perpetrator, maybe he was sending bad things online and they seen his house, so maybe you've been in there and you can peg these people down. But yeah, this is the whole idea of this website, which is good. You know, you want to help out, you actually want to do something, help something, stop through here. But don't give your money to somebody like MamaMax if you're really wanting to help victims and things of that nature. He's just taking your money to produce pretty little videos and to have also power to condemn others, make false accusations, things of that nature. All right, we're going to go and let's skip past all that.
Now, to go back to this cult situation that Max failed to explain properly, one of the cult names, actually, when it came to this vampire werewolf situation, it seems like a lot of the information that has come out has painted this not to something as organized as, say, the Heaven's Gate cult or Shinrikyo. This is more similar to something like an ERP, an erotic role play, or you could say like a role-playing group of that nature, right? Between what seemed like at the time young adults. One of their only websites that I ended up finding was the Guild of Divinity, one of the item shops where they were selling like t-shirts which had some of these awful, terrible goddamn wolf designs onto it. But again, they also had YouTube channels, which, you know, Freedom Speech, for instance, where they actually talked about, again, things like the Eon Order, the Guild of Divinity, and most importantly, ERP, which, again, as you all know, is erotic roleplay. And if you look at some of the actual comments, this is what YouTube should be interested in. If you're a law enforcement agent, you should absolutely get this account subpoenaed. Because again, the actual account itself here talks about this is for anybody who wants to be a supernatural. Do you have anything for werewolves? Any spells? Nobby, we don't do goddamn spells. One of the comments is downright scary, where they're talking about we are looking for USA girls, mostly in Georgia, USA. So again, these are accounts that need to be brought up, investigated, and looked at by law enforcement agencies.
Law enforcement, they can go in there, dig all this information out, and start building a case on this guy. You know, it's simple, but there's more. This is where... yeah, let's watch.
Because there could actually be some serious evidence, I believe, hiding behind here that can cause some serious justice for anybody involved in the situation that feels that they've been wronged. One of the last things I wanted to cover too that really rubbed me the wrong way that I actually didn't mention in my previous video was one situation regarding Max's mega upload folder. Now, Max...
Hold on. You said he didn't. He did not mention this in his last video. And sorry, Muta, you did wrong. You did wrong. This should have been brought up right away. There is people he is accusing of being predators. So this needed to be brought up. You notice he said this is a mega folder. You know, let's listen.
Made numerous investigations where he actually covered numerous cases, and this error message that you're seeing apparently belongs to one of his Mega folders. Now, Mega is a file sharing service, and what Max had used this for was placing his evidence in these servers for people to view underneath his video by looking into the description, from my understanding. Now, the error message here is this folder or file was reported to contain objectionable content, such as CSEM material, violent extremism, or bestiality. The link creator's account has been closed, and their full details, including IP.
So, look at the very first thing here. CE material. That's CP material. So when you see that, think about CP. All right? Yes, right there. That's what that means. That's the legal terminology of CP. All right? Or violent and extremism or bestiality. What is MamaMax right here? Okay, so he is a pred hunter. And what type of files would get you banned being a ped hunter? It's like this, guys. Even I know the first things you guys are going to say is, oh, it's probably for his investigations. Guess what has to happen if you ever see this? And I'm talking about CP. The first thing needs to happen is contact the police. Contact police. That's what has to happen. If you do not contact the police right away, when you first see something like this, or someone sends you something like this, it is considered you collecting it or using it of things in that nature, and it's an illegal item. So you will be prosecuted. Now, I think it would be very scary to bring this to the cops, but I'm sure they got to have a way of knowing you just got it. You did notify them and things of that nature, but you also got to worry the cops are going to take all your electronics because they're going to have to use it for evidence and to make sure you weren't the one doing this. So it's a huge mess. You do not want to get involved in that first little item right there that they say, the CE material. Do not get involved in that. Very, very, very bad. And if he had this on a server and they caught it, now how they do this, they don't just look at pictures and stuff. It's kind of like they have fingerprints of pictures that say that's what that is. And the AI search it out. And then if the AI get a hit, it will send it to authorities, people to review it, and to see if there's a case there. But remember, I was telling you I thought this guy was a predator himself. This could be it. And maybe this is why the MamaMax cult is being quiet.
Has been provided to the authorities. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is an incredibly alarming message, and it's one where I didn't want to speculate, I didn't want to waste time. I'd even confronted Max about this. Now, I asked Max, something alarming popped up, where Max said, hey Muta, the drive contained information and evidence pertaining to predators, some of which included videos, photos, where the predators appeared nude, which is why the drives were publicly available. Have you been keeping up with the servers? I've been jumping in and out, saw this, and it was alarming. I'm wondering if the legality is totally above board. This investigation dies if you store any possible illegal material on a private server. I know even if it's evidence, you submit the whole drive to the authorities in a physical format. And Max says, we don't store anything anywhere. I told them I would not work with them if they did. And again, he asks if we could platform him on my channel or the Some Ordinary podcast. If the mega is taken down, what exactly did they say? Usually those bans are delivered as a result of a fingerprint match. And of course, Max says this mega pertains to previous videos. And there were multiple predators, like their nude photos of them, and videos of them as evidence for law enforcement. And the video he refers to me as is MamaMax's channel, mylol.apk. Now, the reason why this is a massive red flag to me is, as somebody that's covered situations like Trafficking Hub, I've explained to you guys time and time again how image platforms, video sharing platforms actually calculate illegal material on the internet. And it's not because there's somebody magical sitting behind a computer day in and day out looking through illegal material. It's not like there is a massive server somewhere where illegal images are stored in their original files. No, in most cases, illegal information is stored in hashes. Those hash files are then checked against other hashes of images, objects that you have on your local device or wherever you store online continuously, and if a hash gets tripped, which there could be false positives, but generally there aren't if you've read up on how YouTube CSAI match works or Microsoft's photo
now,
DNA.
Did you guys get that? It's like I was telling you, it's a fingerprint system.
Both incredibly well tools, both incredibly free to use, and both designed to assist law enforcement and websites to stop illegal material from ever being posted in the first place. They all check hashes, okay? Literally fingerprints within picture files. And it can be pretty difficult to actually take these things down. Think of it like advanced, super advanced Content ID. So I decided to go to Mega's transparency, and I wanted to see exactly how they identify objectionable content. So usually how it works is a bunch of individuals report individual links. So individuals like me and you who find something shady on their platform, they hit the report button and it goes right to Mega. Now, in some cases, law enforcement agencies report, NGOs report, and the industry can report too. But as you can see, a vast majority, thousands of their actual reports are from actual users. Now, of course, when it comes to how they detect this, in fact, actually, the appeals are very interesting. When an account gets hit, they can appeal, but the appeals are so limited that I'm not joking. In certain quarters, they have literally allowed 0 appeals to go through. In fact, their highest appeals were 10 appeals, and this is obviously thousands of accounts being taken down. Very, very few accounts ever get reinstated, which I have mentioned is most likely because of a possible false positive. Look, Max's explanation really hurts me a lot because for it to make sense, he would actually have to have some of these illegal predators, if they have illegal images from them stored. What I'm getting at is Max's explanation here still rubs me the wrong way. Look, if you have somebody's nude photo or whatever, it's not by itself going to trip any hash. The only reason a hash gets tripped is because it got ran against a known hash in the FBI database, NCMEC, or Interpol. In fact, I'll let Mega explain how this works.
Okay, so you guys understand what Mutahar said just there. What have I been telling you? I think he's a predator himself. The reason that his stuff got taken down wasn't because of nude predators, things of that nature. It would have to be illegal content. Look, and commence a new process, download the content of public links that are reported, contain illegal content such as whatever... So the hashes, the illegal hashes are downloaded. So
in 2022,
basically,
Mega commenced a new process to download the content of public links that are reported to contain illegal content such as CSAM to a server controlled by the New Zealand government. Hashes are calculated for each downloaded file and then compared to hash sets provided by Interpol and NCMEC. Details of files that match the hashes of illegal content are then passed to Mega, so the files can be removed from any account that has imported the file from the original public link. Those users are given a final warning, and the accounts are closed for any users who have on-shared the illegal content. This process resulted in the closure of 642,000 accounts during the 6 months to the 30th of September 2023. So yeah, they've shut down a lot of accounts, but in order for these flags to be tripped, you actually have to be matching against known files. So, who had those known files? And again, a mass majority of like the actual questionable material falls under CSAM. There are things that fall under violent extremism, but a lot of that has to do with actual illegal videos of mass shootings that have been striped from all social media platforms.
All right, so the majority of this is pretty much, CP. So now let's look at this. I was saying it at the beginning. Mutahar's coming out, and there's a very big question now. Very big question. What did he have on that drive that made them close it down? Most likely CP. Now, was he using that for himself? We don't know. And depending on what was on the drive, the severity of it, we might not know for a while. The way the police and government works is they like to collect a lot of evidence. They want to be able to come in, take you down, and make sure the charges are going to stick. They don't want to, they're not in here to play games like MamaMax. They're in here to really do business, to take criminals down, to take predators down, and to take trafficking down. And yes, we need to protect the kids. We need to do a lot. But, honestly, people like MamaMax aren't the ones doing it. They're part of the problem. And now we have questions. He could be a predator himself. Now, guys, let me know what you think down here. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Comment. I do try to comment back. And I appreciate you all watching this video. I will link his full video down in the description below. I just don't even know what to think about Mutahar, because the problem I have, I love the man, I do. But why didn't he bring this up in the first part? Why wasn't this brought up in the last video he did? Really, it just brought up. Well, why was he trying to kind of protect his buddy? I don't know. But it bothers me. Anyway, comment down below, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Watch my other videos. Hit the like, and definitely hit the little ding-a-ling-a-ling bell button. And I'll be making more videos. We might have more MamaMax drama coming after all. You guys, I don't know. We'll see. This was a big drop right here. But I'll talk at you guys later. Peace out. I love y'all. Have a good day. Peace.